I want you to watch this upcoming video. It is 3.5 minutes, so it's long, and it is worth every second. It'll help you see how you see yourself, and I can tell you every time I watch it, I come to tears.
So recently, y'all, I slayed a dragon. It wasn't a fairy tale, though. Let me tell you what happened. So imagine me in a coffee shop relaxing. A woman walked up to me, similar build, cute fashion. In hindsight, she didn't ask me for the seat. She just put her hand on the chair across from me. And I mistook arrogance for curiosity. Some smirks really do be looking like smiles, and the stranger hadn't been that kind in a while. It threw me off. I was like, sure, I mean, why not? There were plenty of seats around. I didn't know why she wanted this particular spot. She sat and she asked me, so what do you do? I said, hi, how are you? I'm a poet. In fact, before you walked over, I was focused on this set I have tonight. I got a feature at this dope venue in the city. She said, oh, okay, how long you been doing poetry? I said, many years, more than 20. But when I caught her expression, my smile started to fade. She said, more than 2 decades and you still performing around the way? I at least thought you'd been in Germany or a national stage. My nostrils flared. I shifted in my seat. I adjusted my glasses. I said, what you say to me? She said, no, I'm just saying, more than 20 years should probably bring you fame. I said, well, the fact that I'm still in demand leaves me amazed. I'm grateful. I looked at sis again. There were no scales, no sharp talons, but it was a little smoke on her tongue. She was hateful. She said, how old are you? I took a long look around the room. I was hinting at sis to go on and move. Trying not to be rude, I said, I'm in my early 40s. She said, true. I don't see no ring. I said, no, baby girl, not yet. She said, so you ain't meet nobody who wanted to take you off the market? I said, well, of the few men that I dated, there was one that I thought I would be with for life, but it didn't work out that way. She said, oh, another independent woman who can't find her Mr. Right. I said, sis, you want to fight? But then she laughed at my offense. Instead of falling back, she leaned in. She said, you came in here by yourself. What, you ain't got no friends? At least tell me you got some kids. I said, I don't have time for this. My life is beautiful the way that it is. She said, oh, you one of them. I said, one of who, friend? She said, you're the type to meet a grim reality with toxic positivity. You sitting there like you never wanted to be mommy or wifey. I said, you're talking to a woman who has radical acceptance for whatever God has for me. Honestly, I'm at peace. And then I remembered I didn't have to be in this woman's vicinity. I started to gather my things up quickly. I said, for the record, I didn't enjoy your company. But since you forced yourself upon me, the least you can do is tell me your name. Sis gonna say same. I said, same as what, girl? Stop playing. She said, same as the woman that I'm talking to, boo. She said, sis, I'm you. I'm the dark corners of your brain. I give voice to what your subconscious be saying. You met a lot of hurt people who wanted you to feel the same. You used to tune them out, but now in the quiet corners of your day, you start to regurgitate all the negative things they used to throw your way. She said, look around, sis, I'm not even here. But I needed you to hear your inner voice really is that rude. You need to get back to therapy and get them people's opinions up off of you. She said, because I know your life is beautiful, but the question is, do you? Because right now, you sound like your own biggest hater. And until you let their opinions of you go, you are the only dragon that needs slaying. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Post in the comments what you got from this. What are some of the comments you make to yourself in the quiet of the night that are really negative that you've taken on from someone else? And they're not yours. It's time for you to shift those because you have an amazing life. And the question, like she asked, do you know it? And remember that you are amazing and deserve a great man.